Hi, this is Mark Kaufman. I'm a Anthology Senior Software Engineer on the Developer Relations and Standards team. I'm making this video to talk about LTI 1.3 and the difference between a redirect URI and a target link URI. And this is important because with the redirect URI, that has to do with the OIDC specification, which is for authentication and developing the trust between the platform, um, Anthologies Learn software, and the tool, your product that you're um, serving content back to the platform from. And the OIDC spec basically gives includes this redirect URI that you need to pre-register on the developer portal. Now, what some folks have been doing is they've been trying to also use that to indicate which piece of content the tool will serve up by adding parameters to the tool redirect URL, or they'll actually change what that URL is. Don't do that. That doesn't need to be done, and in fact should be done. The tool redirect URL is only, or URI is only for the authentication piece of the LTI launch workflow. There's the OIDC auth part, and then there's the LTI launch. And in the LTI launch, you have information about the piece of content that will be served up, and that information can be included in the redirect URI, or even better, you might put it in the resource link claim as an ID that you set. The ID is the ID that your tool provides when the content is placed in Learn, if you're using the deep link request response workflow, because then in your response you can set that ID, and then that's unique to your tool and it has nothing to do with the content item in Learn. Or if you're just using the course content tool, then when Learn launches, it will have an ID in it that well, actually that won't point to your tool content. So you'll need to then in the course content tool, you'll need to specify what that is. Or what I'm going to show you in this video is using the target link URI. So here I'm going to show you on our developer portal. I'll probably need to log in again here. Okay, let's get rid of these. That we don't need. If we go to developeranthology.com and we log in with our account that we registered with earlier, and we look at this tool registration, this is the one I'm demoing with, and if we look at it, we can see that it only has one tool redirect URL or URI. Now in the tool that I'm using, you see that URL or URI is listed right here. But what I'm going to show you is that I can actually launch to this content, and that's not mentioned in this registration, in this tool registration at all, because your tool might have thousands of pieces of content, or you might add and remove content. So you don't want to have to register that on our developer portal every time you add new content to your tool, and then the instructor wants to show that. So you want to keep this separate. And remember, again, this is only used for the OIDC authorization workflow. So if we go here, and I'm going to clear this out now. And I go to my course. Actually, I'm going to do some setup here. I'm going to pause this recording while I set up. Actually, before we look in the course, we're going to look at the LTI tool that's deployed to the Learn system. And if I go edit here, you'll see it's showing me that same thing that I saw in the developer portal, where I've got the login initiation URL, and then I've got the tool redirect URL. And that is the URL that's used for the OIDC auth. But when I look at the managed placement for the tool, you'll see that the managed placement actually launches to the actual launch, not the redirect. The actual launch is to this Bobcat endpoint, which is a target link URL. So here's my Bobcat target URL. So let's go ahead and watch this in action. We'll get into the course. Clear that out. So now I'm in the content area of my course. I click into the course and I click content. And I'm here, build content. Here's that managed placement link. So I can click on that and a page will come up where I can basically give the launch a name. I don't actually type in the URL for the launch. That was defined in the managed placement. So I'll just call it Bobcat. And I believe all I need to do is hit submit here. So now I've got my Bobcat LTI 1.3 launch in my course content area. This is a course content tool, so it's defined it's a managed placement that we've used to create a link that is a course content. And now I'm going to clear off the what we see over in the developer tool so we can actually look at the launch. So I'm going to click on the launch and we're going to watch what happens. And we're watching it launch. I'm going to pause a little bit while it goes through the launch process. So you can see now we've got the login request to the tool. The tool has came back with the OIDC auth request to our platform. And now we see the actual LTI 1.3 launch for the Bobcat. And we'll look at that JWT in a moment. Okay, now we can see we have the Bobcat. And first we'll look at the login request. And you'll see in the login request that we have this target link here, which is for our LTI 1.3 Bobcat. And then in the OIDC auth response, you'll see that the tool sent back in that sent back this request URL where it also included the redirect URI, which is not the target link URI. You see that here, it's just LTI 1.3. It's not the Bobcat one. And then here we actually see the LTI launch, which is a post from the Learn to the tool after the OAuth has happened. And if we look at that payload and get that JWT, we can go to our JWT URL, jwt.io, and we can paste in our JWT, and then there we see the we see that target link URI. Now we also see where if we had been using the deep linking response to create the link, there is a resource link claim. It's this claim. And you see there's an ID that you could use when you set up that link in the LMS. You could put an ID that refers to content on your tool. So you have a couple ways to do this. The main point of this video is do not use the tool redirect URL to indicate which piece of content you want to get back from the tool into the LMS. Use one of these other means. The tool redirect URI, or better if you're using deep linking, is to use the resource link claim, which will contain the ID that the tool will use to indicate which content the tool will serve back to the platform. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions, you can read all about these different types of links here on the LTI 1.3 spec, although you'll actually find out more about them on you'll find more about the redirect URI on the OIDC specification, which you really should read also if you're developing LTI 1.3 tools. Okay, thank you for watching.